Hello, everyone, and welcome to Poetry Street. This is the room without a roof where every voice is heard. And we're so happy that you're here at the free Riverhead Public Library and also all of you at home on Zoom and up on the screen. So give yourselves a good round of applause for being here. Woo! Wow, what a wonderful day this is. And I'm just all tingling because we're going to have some great features today. But first, we need like to do a land welcoming, which is to offer it to recognize the original owners of the land in which we stand. New York City and Long Island has always been the gathering and trading places for many of the indigenous people. Orchard Street and our work in Riverhead and other areas of Long Island is situated on the ancestral and unceded lands of the Lenape, who are the original caretakers, also the Canarsie, the Shinnecock, the Montaukett, the Reckonwalk, the Mansay, and the Haudenosaunee. We acknowledge we are guests here and respect the many indigenous people who live on this land and continue to make ongoing contributions. Poetry Street was founded around 12 years ago by Susan Dingle and Robert A. Bubby Brown as a part of the Riverhead Jumpstart program to revitalize downtown Riverhead. We started at the Blue Duck Bakery and we were there for many years. And then we went to Sonny's. And then after COVID, we came here to the library. And we're so grateful to the libraries, Pam Cook and all the wonderful people here who opened up these doors. And now we're home. And we're so happy to be here. We have three wonderful poets, and I'll read their bios in just a moment. But first, I'd like to acknowledge that Maggie is not here today. However, she will be back next month. She's somewhere flying and enjoying herself in Ireland and Scotland and all those other wonderful places and didn't even invite me, but that's okay. She took her husband, and that's still okay. I hope they're having a great time, and we look forward to you returning back next month, Maggie. Today, we are so happy to have my co-host, Jen Sift, who's going to come up and tell us about the community poem. Okay, let's give a great hand to Jen Sift.
I should have told Chip ahead of time that I did not write a community poem this week, but well, there's kind of a reason. So in lieu of, for next month, I'm sorry, this month I'm in. So for next month, I did put up slips of paper and you have a writing prompt. And the prompt is the first time I fell in love. Is that what I wrote? The prompt is the first time I fell in love. So I figured I'm here today. We'll do it the way I like to do it. I did look at all the slips. It just didn't work out the way it did the last couple of months. So I apologize, and they're home on my table. But so do write one, and I will do it for next month. I promise. Put a little slip. Chip.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Rosalind Brenner. She's an artist who creates painting, poetry, collages, and stained glass in her East Hampton studio. Her work is fusion of the traditional and the imaginative. Rosalind has a joint MFA in visual art and poetry and has been published in many respectable journals. Her four published books are Omega's Garden, All That's Left, Everything Glittering, Shimmerer, and Life in the Body. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Rosalind Brenner. Okay, let's give it up once more for Rosalind.
With this glass of water here. Okay, so I was just looking at MT's magazine and always reading poetry. And I really wanted to bring some uplifting, fun stuff, but the truth is that in trying to find something for this poetry reading, I found that most of my poems are about transience, aging, death, sometimes marriage. And it's not only me. It's like, that's what we write about. We write about very serious things most of the time. And sometimes we can even write things for fun. I have a couple of happy poems and I'm going to try to read to you, but most are in that vein. And it's because, well, when I paint beautiful colors and very uplifting abstracts, you know, that make people happy to look at, I hope. It certainly makes me happy to make them, but my poetry seems to be about those serious things. I left out politics and mostly I left out religion for this for this reading, but you'll see. Anyway, I'm going to start with one that I think is kind of fun. It's called Ode to Things. And I dedicate it to Pablo Neruda's spirit. Ode to Things. I love apricots, barns with spider webs, wide plank floors, the patterns on layered rocks, strata veins that remind me of roads traveled, morphed to abstraction. Driftwood giants in the yard we dragged from the beach tell me we are lucky because we're here. They shrink and rot. Like us, they disappear. Turtles, trains, passing signposts, railway stations, backyard pools, the crossing slow from California into eastern snow. Snow that briefly buds like cotton balls on cedar trees, purple crocuses, first flower of spring, late sunshine lighting moss hills in the garden, summer days, the sweet and acrid smell of autumn fires. Mollusks in eelgrass sway, saltwater marsh, Long Island waterways, loons calls, like rippling foghorns on the bay. The creak of hinges, the way they do their job of opening and closing. Cicadas songs and slugs, daddy longleg spiders, chickadees that call, hey, sweetie, wake with me. I sip my coffee by the pond, feeling love for everything. And everyone, thank you as well. So, a happy poem. Okay, now to go into the more serious stuff. Okay, so this was written after a long meditation. Conjuring. To forget is the ultimate skin shedding. Lose memory for an hour or so. Sit absolutely still, complete and present, no longer alive in sequences of past events and current events, no anticipation of future. Spaceless, space and weightless. This is not dying, just temporary respite. On regaining flat-footed groundedness, a weight bears down on synaptic connection written in the forest network of your body, your thoughts. Thick branches holding the heaviness of experience. Sad, confused, too lost to write about the gravity of this age, these days, friends dying, hard news by phone, by text. Try to infuse time with imperishable dharma. Acquit yourself. No past, nothing ahead, not even a now. Keep up the mercy dance for everything that hurts. War out there, people trapped and killed and hungry. Breathe into refuge beyond the margins of your mind. Sing out loud all the good that you can give. Thank you, guys. So if you, I think it's better if you just really want you to applaud, but after when I finish reading, so that way I'll just move along because it's a long reading. So let's see. Primary colors. This was traveling in Mexico. Lovely, lovely trip to Mexico with my husband. Primary colors. It's hot. We're wearing big brim hats, look like Americans in love with bougainvillea, and marigolds. We stroll a multi-booth tent fair. Bustling lean-to shops exhibit silver jewelry, art and underwear, carpets, bright serapes, woven table runners. Cafes open to the sun on every corner. Coffee and quesadillas, little cakes, guacamole and chocolate mole. The streets are a kaleidoscope of artifacts and hues painted onto hand-hewn wooden bowls and boxes, chimeric puzzle beings, serpents, elephants, and jaguars. Blue glass charms with eyes look back at me. Folk art everywhere. Friendly people. Buildings from Adobe to Baroque. We watch our step on broken sidewalks, holes and cracks from years of tremors, strained, crumbling infrastructure. Casa Azul in Coyoacan, Mexico City. Frida Kahlo's house. I'm in tears. I stand in awe before her easel and paints, her pain evoked in everything she made, her bed, a mirror hung above for her to witness broken beauty and transform her crippled body into art. Among Diego's paintings in the house, the couple, eternally together, holding hands and paintbrushes. Those two, a karmic pair, like us. Our first day in Oaxaca, we drink mezcal from indigenous agave. Mike samples fried grasshoppers. I try salsa made from local mango trees. Putin's troops march into Ukraine. We hear the news. My mother's birthplace, another war. We are never far away from all the danger elsewhere. Okay, so it's okay. I like it. Let's see, page 83. Brief passage. And this is, I live in the Springs in East Hampton, which is, I have to say, one of the beauteous places of the world. And I've traveled a lot. I just think, for me, it's home, but it's also such a place of natural beauty, the beaches and the beachy trees and all of that. So I write a lot about living there. Brief passage. A single cormorant, feathers spread, blazes on dark ripples. A blaze of red and aqua sunlight bolts through clouds on the horizon. Halyards ring out evening in the marina as sailboats sway in wave break at the jetty. Geese fly currents ahead, above. Geese fly currents above, their shapely V dappling the light of moonrise. I hear myself ask, no one listening, how many others have passed time, seated on a bench, admiring the white windmill across the water, blades blinking in dusk. When my wings have flown me through the portal that unlocks death's hidden prize, will I become the breath of wind or sister to a seagull perched on a pier? Will I mingle with rainbow rays to stir a lonely woman's imagination as sun sets on this bench, this bay, this beach, thinking how fast light goes dark as daylight dims? The cove, so quiet on peaceful days, turbulent when weather whips the shore, ebbs and flows in rhythm with the moon, will not remember I spent this solitary moment holding close its aching beauty. It's okay. Sorry, I even said that. I'm not, I stopped, I was gonna time myself, but,
You're good.
okay, because I have a lot. So I think I've done, anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, so, hello. It chose pretty well, I think. Similar, this is another uh, poem about Eastern Long Island. Alone with January moon. As she lifts above Gardiner's Bay, January moon shimmers behind bare trees, waxing with tidal flow. Wind stirs oak and sycamore. Like her, I am reflection, but I am bound by mood, fanned by whims of news, the unexpected turn, pain, loss, applause, altered every moment. Her change, her lure is predictable and constant. Like a comic tragic mask, moon shy half face rises in the crystal dome. I sit bundled on a cold garden bench, challenged by the freak sea that is age, little comfort, but full of gratitude for moon's touchstone repetition. Okay, so let's see. It's a lot. What did I choose? Yeah, I'll read a poem about poetry. An Ars Poetica, it's called. Just take some water. It's called an Ars Poetica. It's a poem about poetry. A poem. A poem is an aureole, golden streak past the window, free as it flies from its nest by the bay. Is music that stitches shards of mind's musings, mends holes, softens scars, urging pain away. Is the loam of earth, the ether of sky, persistent waves, the marrow of bone, the grit of sand, vastness of mountains, the blood of fire, a compass home. A poem can curve inward, its light blazing outward in a chord of communion, stringing words on the air. A pitcher of manna poured into time, a cup full and constant that won't overflow. A poem is the taste of ripe figs on dawn's palate, Aphrodisia's vessel in a potter's clayed hands, sun's banner that shimmers open each morning, moves hours toward noon, spins twilight to nightfall. Poems raise the moon, bring comfort in gloom, and embrace in the quiet of days folding away. So I have a couple more. I think one more. Sure. Let's see. I'll do this funny one. April Beach. White gossamer balloon, lost from a child's delight, skips freely for a moment along the sandy landscape, draws patterns on the wind. Sapphire sky backdrops its wild frolic. Time shifts, afternoon light kindles the beach bright umber. A jogger, sweating, shirtless, stops, turns seaward for a moment, while the white balloon skitters the shore, dips and lifts before it goes to sheer, pale tatters. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Rosalind. Let's give it up one more time for Rosalind Brenner. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to Step. who is on Zoom, and he owes me 25 hugs. You see how it
Got
keeps
you.
going up? You got me, excellent. Step is a poet, writer, dancer, athlete, and performer. He who recently moved to Long Island and connected with the scene, quickly becoming their poet on the ground. His love for writing and poetry started when he was a teenager. The style of his work is narrative and descriptive. Step believes that poetry provides a unique journey for the poet and reader, listener to go on a journey together. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome all the way from Zoomland, Step.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing? So, my name is Steps, as Chip said, and thank you for allowing me to be a feature. Here's Chip. This is my first time coming to Poetry Street. Wish I could have been there in person. So I'ma hop straight into it. So the first poem I'm gonna get into is called "How Much." Now, this poem came from a prompt at an open mic I went to, and I really liked it, so it stuck with me. I'm gonna let the plane go by. How much is me? I'm still stuck between the perfect definition of myself. When the manufacturer provided a fractured chip, slamming my brain with flashes of distant yearnings. A mental haze failed to patch a simple lining, leaking the remains of unrecognizable memories. How much is me when the rest that's left is the remnants of fractured glass dripping from the portraits stuck to a mental wall? Why bleed blood when love is nothing but a jigsawed mirror? How much is me? I don't know. Picking at the dimly lit light bulb floating above my head, often misguided the steps, trapping the navigation until I trip down momentary pauses. How much is left of me? Regret, distrust, premature lust, waiting to situationally combust. My eyes are glued to my balled up fists, veins popping with disgust. The people pleaser, distracted from my reality, with skin boiling from illusionary bullets curling within chaos. How much more of me will cater to the stiffening of limbs when thoughts of curiosity stifle the pumps encouraging my silhouette to follow each beat? How much? Poem. Okay, the next poem I'm going to read for you guys is a love poem. This poem is called Soul Tie. I wrote this thinking about a special somebody. So here we go. I want to be the bucket encasing your water, shielding you from the insecure feelings of this dysfunctional world's prying eyes. I believe in opening at the top, just so you experience freedom without dripping mental expressions across the counter table. Just in case you are not sure, let us pour extra securities to the place impurity. I want to be the aqua to your frita. Yes, you are a freaka, although this does not stimulate a heart's pump to travel through you. Oftentimes I've wished I was the harmony to your oblinging, becoming the humble to your observant. The molecules have altered our condition, seeking perfection, dependent on situation. Hold on. The stages of cycles may have changed, but our creed breathes meaning so we can remain the same. Wait, we made mistakes, suffocating on past misunderstandings. Let's run it back. If we miss, if you miss what I'm saying, it'll be an honor to be the H to your O, mixing together into our essence, crossbred into a single string. Soul Tide. We glowed in a sparkling hue, blue, a hue that was always meant to represent you. That was Soul Tide. Chip, let me know how much time I have. I'm not paying. Don't watch on me.
More is good.
All right. So the next poem I'm going to read you guys is called Sidewalk's Defiance. This poem is a little fun thing I decided to do when I was watching some superhero and villain stuff on YouTube. It feels as if my life was created to be the cracks within a sidewalk of another's heroic arc, assisting in launching Cape Crusaders off the ground, leaving behind a loud sound from a sonic boom. While they're flying around, I'm catching clowns sprinkling from the sky as dewdrops trickling down my skin. It feels as if I'm the side character to my own charismatic story. The title of Doom skipped over my dead body, just to prove to you, even fiction couldn't justify the resident of this body. As a continuation of dismantled poetry, I'm built like softened concrete to absorb dreamless concessions. Water chased drain pipes down empty streets. The cracks within our pores opened, sprinkling fear with a dash of hope to hydrate flowers resembling petalless weeds. The seeds of my sunflower refused to bloom. Due to my villainous downpour, the soil was hydrated in vain. Barren of sunshine, since your cape left me in your shadow. Like wild violets, jealousy is taking root. I'm earthbound, grounded to leftover joy. I'm fuming from the potential to destroy. Boiling with spoiled herbs, my stomach is crawling up and down my spine. My disgust became a humbling reminder. I'm bound to stare at the stars, wishing I could switch places, mean something more than an innocent face. That's Sidewalk's Defiance. This next poem I'm going to read is actually something very special to me. Uh, this is a poem that I wrote for my grandfather because his birthday is today. And I was given the honor to make him a poem. So obviously the poem's called Happy Birthday, Granddad. Childhood became a source of enlightenment. Once the light decided to grace my gaze with your auspicious smile. An ageless joker, mending our relations like a deck being meticulously shuffled. Let's call a spade a spade. Laughter was the weapon, while humor was strategically placed punchlines. Forgive me as my presence is elusive. However, Take pride as your infectious spirit structured a family with pure determination. A bravado carried with love, tempering a folk resting within your forge. Brilliance was birth. It's a blessing being born from an oak tree. Generations raised on conviction and resilience. A legacy nourishing patience atop a tilted hourglass. I pray you continue to remain with us throughout time. Provide me with the joyous frame of mind that could slow senseless aging. As a proud grandson, I couldn't have been given a better guardian spirit, resting within a physical vessel. So, happy birthday, Granddad. I love you. Uh, Chip, how much time do I have?
Wow, wow. You know, there was something about you I knew I liked. Ladies and gentlemen, our next feature, that was just wonderful. You are so deep, man. I just really I love your poetry.
Thank you.
Our next feature, MT Pariti is co-founder, editor-in-chief, and president of the Sing magazine. He is a poet, writer, and performer himself. Writing has been a compulsion for him since his teenage years. He believes poetry is a unique art that can be experienced on stage, and he offers as many poets as possible a chance to be published and engaged in open mics. MT's own work focuses on trauma, mental illness, and living a non-divergent life. Yet his poems manage to be musical and disarming. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome MT Pariti. You see how that's done? The hugs? I need 30 from you, Step.
I got you.
Oh, he raised it.
It keeps
He raised it.
going.
It's going up.
Yeah.
It's going up. Oh, what's going on, everyone? Is it bright in here or is it just me? I'm just kidding. All right. So I'm MT Pariti. Yes, I do run this little magazine called The Scene. We've been doing it for a little over 2 years now. Thank you. And we just expanded into the rest of New York City. We were originally just Brooklyn, Queens, Nassau, Suffolk, but now we include all the other boroughs. So yeah, if you'd like to be published, we are always accepting submissions. It's free to submit. Just send us a couple pieces and we'll go from there. All right. So thank you so much. Oh, find us at thescene.life on Instagram and the web. All right, cool.
Say that
So
website again.
thescene.life. Cool. All right. So I have an unpublished manuscript that I don't know what to do with. So if there are any publishers listening in, this is my first, it's a full-length collection. It's called Not for Nothing. And it chronicles the 4 months after my bipolar diagnosis at 38, and my entry into the interventions that keep me balanced today. So I'm going to take you on a little journey through that. Here goes. First poem in the book. Can you trust your senses? A buzzing of vision, a blurring of sound. I'm starting to feel a bit turned around. It's like falling up while still lying down. Phantoms are swirling, periphery sights. A difficult world when you can't trust your eyes. And your ears always hear words woven with lies. Confusion sets in, face twists in disgust. A rancid, rank smell, a taste I don't trust. Unpalatable, like old moldy crust. So I can't believe all the things I perceive. There's no guarantee life is fair, but I still receive it all into me. How else will I know that I'm there? Couple of shorter ones. So this is actually the second poem, but I'm reading it from my friend Vinny. Vinny, love you, brother. He's also the submissions editor. So if you send stuff, he'll read it and tell me what to read, which is great. And this is the poem that made us friends. I read this in Babylon a while ago, and he came the next month with a response poem. And I loved that, and we've been very close ever since. So it's called Can't Stop, Won't Stop. It's about not being able to sleep. Myopia crusts my eyes. I wake from dreamless sleep. How long have I been out? Darkness stains the sky, a glow on the horizon. Just another false dawn. Not that it matters. Can't stop the sun from sunning. Can't stop the needing need. Can't stop the death becoming. Can't stop the seed that seeds. Silence the only stirring. The work awaits the day. Nothing needs be doing. As quiet on the outside as loudness from within. When will we sleep again? It doesn't matter. Won't stop the seek of slumber. Won't stop the wonder wheel. Won't stop the giant's hunger. Won't stop the way I feel. This is a funner. Look at that. I don't know words. So this is a little bit more fun. It's called Pacing, and it's about that, right? Pacing around, right? So I did a lot of that during this period of time. Pacing, mind racing while walking about. Long on distance, short on space. Getting all turned around. Wanting to wander while confined to inside. Feet match the beat, pulse setting the stride. A body that's bursting with movement and buzz. Been at it all day, but I'm right where I was. I'm in a library, so I can't not, oh wait, no, this one first is super short. The birds still fly south. The birds still fly south. They weave and wax and wane. Willy-nilly through the air, a group, a gaggle, a great bunch. Together with invisible purpose, under the same sky as you and me and us. When my world ends, theirs does not. The birds still fly south. Let's see. This one's kind of, oh no, this is the one I had to do because we're in a library. This is interactive if you want. I would love that. There's a refrain that keeps getting repeated, which is from The Crucible. And the refrain is lay on when they're placing the rocks, and his response is lay on. And it combines that scene with the Greek Titan Atlas. So it's like a meshing of those two stories in a way. So here goes. They called him Atlas. And after each section, you can say, lay on. Let's give that a shot. So I'm going to say something. I'm going to run in the first line. Refusing to turn his back to the world, he took the weight straight to the chest.
Lay on.
Love that. All right, so I'm going to start over and we're going to get started. Refusing to turn his back to the world, he took the weight straight to the chest.
Lay on.
And thinking the hit would be one and done, he figured he might get some rest. If only it was, if only it is one boulder, one burden to bear. but its lives and loves that are lived, loved, and lost, stacked up like broke back camel hair. He thought that he could. He wanted and would, but should not have acted so glib. He will not relent, won't break if it's bent. Is that the sound of cracking ribs?
Lay on.
Now flat facing up, tears filling his cup, his crime simply wanting it all.
Lay on.
On trials for lies, with cutthroats and spies, and the judge just refused him his call.
Lay on.
Lay on.
A crucible test, his final bequest, it must be accepted as fate.
Lay on.
He wasn't so sure, shut window or door, the only thing left was more weight.
Lay on.
Air crushed from his lungs, a bell that's been rung, a fading sound now on his breath.
Lay on.
On his last whispered words, so quietly heard, embracing it all, includes that. Lay on.
Lay
Lay
on.
on.
All right. So I took a look at the time. So how am I doing? Two more? Two more? Okay, cool. So I can't not do the poem inspired by my mother, who inspired my journey into mental health advocacy and my own mental health balance as well. So she passed in 2020 to complications related to her own mental illness. And this poem, she loved music, and we loved music and dancing, and it was wonderful. And so, oh my God, I'm just thinking about it. I didn't think that was gonna happen all of a sudden. Anyway, let me see if I can get through this poem. It's called Radio Rituals. Flipping through the stations, trying to find familiar sounds, searching for that magic music that brings you back to life. I set the ritual in motion, a conjuring, and wade through the waves that emanate from the radio. There is a sudden swell, backflow, updraft, rip tide. The ocean draws me in, pulls the rug right out from under. Couldn't stop it if I tried, and I'm not trying. Ragdoll rolling, spread out wide, starfish, till I'm spit back out, soaked and stumbling on your sandy shores. It worked, but you wound up being more than the ocean, and I wound up being less than prepared. Dewdrop, raindrop, teardrop. Just when I thought it's over, I see you dancing in beams of light. Rainbow. Salty prisms blur my vision of the present for sights of the past. And just like the ocean, you're more than the light. You're its source, scattered about above. Fusion, fission, collisions. Bright bursts twinkle, guiding this wayward wanderer back to where it all began. Your end. A final blaze of glory casts new shades and shadows on all the moments of your life, reflecting and refracting, fanning out into all the colors of you. Hot or cold. Settling in now, I stop assuming and let you teach me what you tried to all along. That you were so ultraviolet when you weren't infrared. The stars will still shine long after they are dead. Time won't stop for no one, but it'll slow and can be sped. The music's always playing, and it's all just in your head. Want more? All right. I can't believe I got through that. Holy cow. All right, and this is the last poem I'll read now. And it's the last poem in the book. It's the title poem of the book, Not for Nothing. The subtitle is Finding Purpose in the Pain. The book is broken up into 3 sections: the pain, the finding, and the purpose. And this is the last poem. And it kind of chronicles one night in a way. Not for nothing. Curled up in a ball on my bathroom floor, gripping my knees to my chest, taut and tightening. Pushing and pulling against myself, against my sinuous bones. Becoming dense, I sink. Frozen and falling, funneling through centripetal circles of time, hearing echoes of echoes, voices on voices, disguised as my own. Nothing to show for these moments alone. A regretful refrain resounds and confounds. This is all for nothing. Bracing for impact, yet no ending comes. Expectations get dashed while I do not. Confused and concerned, still falling. The deeper I go, the hotter it gets, the closer I come to my core. The ice starts to melt and puddles take form on my off-white linoleum floor. I leak, reveal and release. Salty rivers run, distilling down to a point on the tip of a pin. It cannot be contained. A prick pops the balloon. I burst, an explosion of flood and fire, expanding and demanding space. Space to rail against the rage, space to stretch out and be free, space to be me. And in that silent space, deafened by the thunderous blast of beginnings, a reply can be heard, cutting through all the shame, unbound and profound. This is not for nothing. Thank you so much for letting me do that. It was so cathartic and wonderful. Maybe this book will be out eventually. And thank you. Can't wait to hear all of you.
Let's give it up one more time for MT Pariti. What beautiful, 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 beautiful. Our features today, which is beautiful. And I don't know if you heard about the Scene magazine. Well, thank you, Scene, for doing an interview with Maggie and myself in the Scene. Yeah, right. You know, if you're not a subscriber to the Scene, this is your opportunity. The Scene is only $5. Only $5.
That's basically free.
I've been
It
waiting.
is.
Yep. You know, we have Chris Javier upstairs, Steps, and Q Imagine, and we have Vince here, and MT Pariti. All these people are part of the Scene magazine, and this is a movement. I tell you, this magazine is beautiful. And again, if you do not subscribe to this, you should. It's only $5. Okay. All right, so I would like to bring up Jen Sift, who is going to run our open mic today. And we remind you 1 poem, 3-minute max, so that we can get everyone in. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Jen Sift.
Okay, so this is loose today, isn't it? Okay, so 1 poem, 3 minutes, and also don't introduce it. Let your poems speak for themselves. Claire, how many on Zoom?
We only have 3 signed up so far today, Jen, so I'm going to ask anyone else who's interested in reading to let me know in the chat and I'll call on you. And we have a request for you to repeat the theme for the community poem.
Oh, yes. Prompt for community poem is the first time I fell in love. And I noticed there were only a few slips in the jar. So everybody write one line of poetry. The prompt is the first time I fell in love. There's slips of paper over there, and then put it in the jar. And I'll make a poem for next month. Okay. So first we'll have Steve, then Bill, then Vinny. Give it up for Steve.
Hey, y'all. Without tearing up, your journey is my journey, my brother. I feel everything you wrote. Everything you wrote. So, sometimes the hardest part of being a human being is being vulnerable. And, I live in that vulnerability because it's cathartic and life's beautiful. So, I was going to read something dark and heavy, which is kind of where I wanted to go. This is called Mirror, Mirror. Vagabond scholar, street smart renegade, the gum that sticks to the bottom of my shoes. Life can be paralyzing when all is says, yes, the shadows come and drag me down. I journey there to the dark, feeling hollow at times, living in the places inside of me I do not love, stealing my joy, leaving parts of it dancing in front of me, just out of reach, leaving a taste of heaven, that I have wings to rise above the terror. But I do not fear where I come from, because there is nothing in the world that can harm me any longer. I turn the face to the fist, the thing called terror that squeezes my heart, and I ask it, what do you wish of me? What do you wish to say? Why do you cause me such pain? And it answers, I am here to remind you that you are alive. So I ask you, are you ready to live? For there is much work to do in joy. When you see this, I shall release my grip. Fear doesn't need to be dark. It can be a lesson of what is locked inside of us. Trust and distrust, love and hatred, control of faith, sun or shadow-soaked doom. Is being human to live in both? Don't deprive the love of yourself. Face it, peel back the clenched fist and open your heart. Let the past and the pain dissolve into pools of light. Mirror, mirror, vagabond scholar, street smart renegade, the gum that sticks to the bottom of my shoes. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Okay, next up, we're gonna do Bill Batcher, then Vinny Colon, and then we'll do one from Zoom, Claire. Okay, Bill Batcher.
I like to read this around this time of year. It's called Agritainment. Potatoes, cauliflower. Now North Fork farmers produce a new commodity. The Bureau calls it agritainment. Manhattan families drive out autumn weekends to be agritained with mazes, pumpkin picking, hay rides, scarecrow clowns. Farmers figure, agritain the city folk. Sell a bushel, make a buck, send them back. Locals don't find traffic all that agritaining. Sunday afternoon, as audience departs, Buicks bearing bales of hay for condo lobbies, kids arguing which pumpkin will be Jack's best lantern, and Indian corn destined for office stores, ag-retainers return to harvest chores.
Okay, next up, we have Vinnie Cologne.
Thank you. Thank you, Chip and Maggie and Bobby. Thank you, everyone. This is actually Ars Poetica. It's a poem about a poem, and it's the response poem to M.T. Pariti's poem. I just happen to have it in my new book. So
What's the name of your new book?
it's called The Old Wooden Bench. If you want one, you can let me know. But anyway, it's called Early to Rise, inspired by Can't Stop, Won't Stop by M.T. Pariti. As M.T. Pariti astutely wrote about writers and writing, we all need a long run up to the day, as my circadian rhythms are clicking and the hands on the clock keep on ticking. I'm usually best between the hours of 4 and 8. I'm most productive in the morning before all the BS and the scorning. Listening to the nightingale at sunrise is a delight to my mind's jaded eyes. Hopefully there's still time to create. I steal into the garden, no need to beg a pardon, as the rest of the world is not yet awake. I get so triggered by an emotion or something that someone else said that I feel a need to take pen to pad. I sit there oh so royally, a modern Great Gatsby, peering from egg to egg. What words would make it stand out, and which tends to pitch it? Be firm, but don't sound like you're bitching. Like, try to keep it real. Don't use showy language or archaic words, which nobody says and no one else has heard, and practically no one understands. Alas, a call from inside breaks the quiet, exposed, as all along I was there being spied, like a vampire approaching the dawn. She yells out, "Hey, honey, what are you doing? I thought you were mowing the lawn."
Claire, do we have somebody on Zoom?
Yes, we're up to 5, but we're going to start with Chris Genevieve, and I screwed up his name again.
Hello, everybody. Can anybody hear me? Okay, cool. A movie ballad. I wish for the sun in the spring so I can leave my broken home. Spend some sunny time when birds sing. Solitude is best. Don't say you're alone. When you're around a stranger on the phone, I had to remind myself many times, walking past galleries and stones while I'm in my head counting dimes. All casual, without the bling, at the Lincoln Center one-way zone. Before the film, go eat something, lasagna, french fries, or calzone. Cafe Paradiso alone, on the side are 2 lemon limes. A ticket to a French well-known, while I'm in my head counting dimes. Leia Seydoux is just the main thing. A journalist on the war zone, a heartbreaker in a main fling, soon to realize that fame has shown pain, loss, her reputation's blown. In France, a country with good wines, I would buy chocolates and baked scone while I'm in my head counting dimes. It's 10 p.m. Now time to roam. $30 left at night times. Enough for a ride to get home while I'm in my head counting dimes. Home.
Excellent. Chris Janvier. Next up, now I don't know your last name, Donna M. Sorry. Mulia.
Goofball. Concert starts at 5:45 a.m. sharp. Musicians tune their instruments, trumpets, flutes, bassoons, piccolos, pitches, keys, volumes, tempos, singing of the chorus, ready to play and warble in unison. All different tunes, ready to croon. Dressed in all different garb, not colorless black and white. Red, blue, brown, black, orange, gray, and yellow. Spots, speckles, stripes, and caps. Spotlight shines on the stage as the morning symphony begins. The concert starts at 5:45 p.m. sharp. Minstrels rosin their bows, violins, violas, cellos, basses, pitches, keys, volumes, tempos, singing of the chorus. Ready to play and fiddle in unison, ready to croon. All different tunes, invisible to the naked eye, but heard into the black of night. Chirp, cheep, squawk, squeak. Chitter, hoot, screech. Antenna, vocal cords, wings, and legs. Spotlight shines on the stage as the evening symphony begins. Thank you.
Yeah. So we'll do Sarah Goodman, Barbara Branca, and then we'll do two more online. Were there more than two now? Claire?
Yeah, we have 4 left.
Okay, we have 4 left online. We have a lot of people to go. So again, no introductions. Sarah Goodman.
One introduction. Sarah Goodman is our Suffolk County Teen Laureate. So let's give it up again for Suffolk County Teen Laureate Sarah Goodman.
Art is a one-way mirror. Hidden in fresh black on a cracked stone wall, hidden in plain sight from the circle of students below, a quote from the doctor. He asks, "What is art?" To a still room receiving silent stares paired with empty answers. Frustrated, he tells us, "Look a little deeper." The Things They Carried is not a war story, nor is it a collection of anecdotes on love, but a record of human nature and a narrative of responsibility. He tells us so. There's no such thing as a true war story when truth is subjective, and every fictitious detail is a reflection. Art is a mirror. The doctor's quote reads, splayed uneven on the wall, caught by the keen eye of Kimura. The only student to take her nose out from the book and look around her. He asks us what we think of it. The whole point is to make us think. To learn is to think is to be, and so I am hesitant. I do not speak after her answer, nor the first after hers, and then the conversation moves on. Fictitious Tim listens to Sanders ramble on about the details he fabricated to find a point. There's no such thing as a true war story. When every detail that's real sounds so impossible as to be unplausible, and little white lies must be scattered in to make the moral go down smoother. But why tie reality down to our perception of it? The contradictions of life are no more falsehoods than the anomalous spike on the graph, which we claim to be evident of discovery simply because we can comprehend it. When truth is respective, it is based in perspective. Contradictions are simple truths and the I beside our own. If I had answered Dr. Sicione, I would have told him that he excluded a crucial part to the quote. Art is a one-way mirror. Every letter, every stroke, every number in the code, every laugh, every cry, every birth, every death, nothing exists within a void. Even unconsciously, the artist depicts the world they perceive in each minor detail while we see ourselves in the product. Is that what you would have us read between the lines, O'Brien? Is there no point at all but for us poets to look a little deeper and glimpse a reflection in life? to see chaos in order and beauty in war, to find those contradictions, to look at the mirror and a little deeper into ourselves, to question, to analyze, to change, to carry this responsibility with us as is our poetic human nature, to then step back from the fine print and open our eyes to the bigger picture, to find the quote painted on the classroom wall.
That was great. I certainly wasn't that brave at your age. And now we have Barbara Branca. No, I lied.
She lied. Well, you're going to get a song. I have a heavy song that I did not write. Lawrence Ferlinghetti wrote a poem in 2007, but I feel compelled to sing it for you now. And a few of you have heard it. I'm just going to do it anyway. It's called Pity the Nation. Pity the nation whose people are sheep and whose shepherds mislead them. Pity the nation whose leaders are liars, whose sages are silenced, and whose bigots haunt the airways. Pity the nation that raises not its voice, but aims to rule the world by force and by torture, and knows no other language but its own. Pity the nation whose breath is money and sleeps the sleep of the too well fed. Pity the nation. Oh, pity the people of my country. My country, 'tis of thee. My country, tears of thee. Sweet land of liberty, sweet land of liberty. Lawrence Ferlinghetti.
I love Barbara. Okay, we'll do 2 on Zoom. Is that what I said? And then we have, I forgot. We'll go to Zoom. Well, I'm going to warn everybody who's coming up that we're going to go to Zoom, and then we have Suki Cannon and my girl Diane Morelli.
Okay, we have Randy Fowler, followed by Q Imagine. Go ahead, Randy.
All right. 10-yard dash, part 1. I find a suitcase marked memories, unopened for 30 years. Pop the latches, dust puffs. Stand back, open the trunk, dust billows. Clean the albums, flip through the photos, stop at 1. Preteens lined up for a 10-yard dash. One child wipes sweat from her forehead, another licks his lips, a third hitches up his shorts. All are eager and primed. A man holds up his hands. The kids wait, muscles quivering, poised for explosion. The truck drives away. Man drops his hands. Kids dash like they're running toward Christmas morning presents. They reach the garbage dump, pack food scraps into their pockets, mush more into their mouths, but respect each other's space. In this acre-square landfill called home, these kids live in lean-tos of rotted wood and discarded plastic and race the 10-yard dash each noon. Town dump, Tegucigalpa, Honduras, summer 1980. Part 2. Some days my group drives to the dump. I do magic tricks for the children, bring a soccer ball and play with them. But bringing food would cause a riot. They beg by sticking their hands in our pockets. How can I tell them about my God's blessings when these kids live in a land of salt water and we have 1 gallon of fresh to share? A college student's summer service ends at the orphanage ends. I received 2 days of training on reentry shock, fly back to the United States. At LAX, I see half a burger, granola bar, and 1/3 a meal dropped in the trash. I used to look through a dark glass. Now I see my culture face to face, and I see myself reflected in it. On the ride home, I open my album, take the photo of the town dump, and insert it side by side with a picture taken in my city, Ocean Sunset, Santa Barbara, California, spring 1980. Poem.
Thank you so much, Randy. And we'll now bring on the poet, You Imagine.
Hey everyone, I'm just gonna read a poem for you guys. It's called Our Essence to Feeling Alive. Here it goes. There is a solution to our woes, our problems, if we find the ability to release and solve them. It's all energy in what we produce, what bears fruit through the love we use to fall and to fly into the world. We see through our eyes, to wander through our minds, through the cries and the rise. We follow what we know, what we think we know, and there's a part of us that wants to grow. Or maybe go to greener pastures and feel a different vibe. So finding purpose, you develop a tribe. When you ask the reasons why, you defy what you're supposed to feel. When we all deal, when it all feels too real, to conceal our essence of feeling alive. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, okay. I believe Suki Cannon has never been here before. Am I right about that?
Spring. This is a poem that has saved my life many days by Mary Oliver, called Today. Today I'm flying low and I'm not saying a word. I'm letting all of the voodoos of ambition sleep. The world goes on as it must, the bees in the garden rumbling a bit, the fish leaping, the gnats getting eaten, and so forth. But I'm taking the day off, quiet as a feather. I hardly move, though really I'm traveling a terrific distance. Stillness, one of the doors into the temple.
And someone I'm super happy to see, we go way back, Diane Morelli.
Today seems like a good day for Ars Poetica. So I'm going to read Where Unwritten Poems Go. Not now. I have a headache and the phone is ringing and I can't find my car keys and I'm due in court in 15 minutes. Yes, now, right now.
You know I'm not good at waiting. I'm sorry, good at it or not good at it. I don't care about any of that. You're going to have to wait. Sorry? You say you're sorry. I say you aren't as sorry as you will be if you make me wait. Excuse me, I heard something. Those words, that tone, a threat. Was that a threat? I don't take kindly to threats. Of course not. I don't do threats. Threat isn't a word I'd toss around lightly. Forgive me, I misspoke. Tell me, what do you do? It seems like you interrupt me whenever I'm on the go. Wrong again. I don't do interruptions. That's not me. Nope. That's not what I do. As you may recall, what I do is inspire you, guide you, encourage you. Go on, close your eyes, inhale, hold it. Very good. Oh, geez, not this again. Next, you're going to invite me to exhale. Take a seat. Pull out a pristine sheet of paper and a sharpened pencil. Yes, I am. Tell me, what comes next? Right. You're going to ask me. No, nag me to write. Right. That's right. You're a writer. It's time to write. A poem. How about a poem? Nothing too verbose. A quatrain will do. I've got an idea to get you started. I bet you do. You're full of ideas. Fantastic, pragmatic at times, psychotic ideas. You torture me with them when I'm half asleep or at the ATM machine or on the elliptical. Why should I stop doing what I'm doing now? Take your idea and turn it into a poem. Do it because you know how this goes. You get busy and I get gone. Thank you.
That was great. So we'll do Nina and then Susan and then Linda's here, yay. And then we'll go back up to Zoom. So Nina Yavel.
Give it up one more time to Nina. By the way, I'll be real quick. Nina is on our film, Poetry Street on the Road, the film, which can be found on our website, poetrystreetontheroad.com. Nina,
Thank you. So what a wonderful day, poetry. Beautiful, beautiful, every one of you. Okay, so September is a tough month for me. A lot of people in my family have passed. And this poem is really for my brother. It's called Through a Keyhole. Why would some God want you, take your center and leave me with ashes? More likely you were caught in a matrix of probability, a Mobius strip, like the one you made for me when I was a child. Do you want to see me put myself through the keyhole, you asked? I giggled, not knowing what would come next. I almost believe you could do it. A brother can do anything. But I laughed. No, it's impossible. I don't believe you. It's impossible. Watch. And you carefully sharpened a pencil, and in that very precise way of yours, wrote myself on a small strip of paper in tiny letters, folded it and placed it over the keyhole, then gently pushed it through to the other side. Through autumn flowers and that sunny September morning, I kept looking into that space, wondering where you disappeared,
hoped that soon the magician would come back, bringing stories of how it was at the center of emptiness. We would drift off into other afternoons, lie in the limp grass under a shell of moon, sift through thin clouds. We talk as we always did, because through your death, I no longer fear the other side.
Okay. I did something for the first time the other night, and I went to a meditation led by Susan Samarad, and it was terrific. So once a month on Zoom through the library, Susan leads a guided meditation. It was wonderful. I recommend. So Susan Samarad.
I knew I haven't been here for a while because the last time I saw you, Nina, your hair was really short. And so now your hair has grown. I was busy working in the garden, came in to get a glass of water, saw the time, and I said, oh, I have time to get to poetry. So I just grabbed two poems, and I don't know which one I grabbed. And so now I find out. And it seems that many of you have been reading dark poems, and this is a dark one. And it's called Hate. Hate grows like a raging fire. Hate erupts like Mount Vesuvius. Hate floods like a tsunami. Hate takes us from our homeland. Hate takes our homeland away. Hate annihilates, exterminates, decimates. Hate is homicide, genocide, and forced suicide. Hate the Jews, hate the Blacks, hate the Cherokees. Hate is the Trail of Tears. Hate is Pearl Harbor. Hate is Auschwitz. Hate is Rwanda. Hate is September 11th. Hate is civil wars, world wars, revolutionary wars. Hate is loss of family, loss of home, loss of life. Hate is hangings, gassings, beheadings. Hate is mass suffering and mass sorrow. Hate captures, kidnaps, entraps. Hate is in our country. Hate is in all countries. Hate is in the world. Hate, hateful hatred. May hate be liberated from our vocabulary. May hate be eradicated from our minds. May hate be extinguished from our hearts. Oh, merciful Lord, may this hate end.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have gone to the meditation. No, that was wonderful. I've never heard you read something like that before. Thank you. And now we'll do Linda, and then we'll go back up to Zoom. Linda Bullock.
In honor of my mother, we didn't realize that my mother liked poetry. But at the end of the love letters that she wrote to my dad when they were courting, she tagged each one with a short little poem. So I'm going to read these little tags. March 5th, 1931. Soon hills and dates will depart us. Your face I cannot see. Just take a pen and pencil, dear, and write a line to me. April 2nd, 1931. I am not writing for fashion. I am not writing for fame. I am writing because I love you. So here I'll sign my name. In that letter, there was a mention of a marriage. April 2nd, 1931. It takes a cup to drink water. It takes a glass to drink wine. It takes a man like you to satisfy my mind. April 4th. Excuse me. When I look over the situation and think problems thoroughly through, I think I will quit all friendships and give all my love to you. December 3rd, 1931. Your cute hands, your darling feet, You're sweet. Oh dear, how sweet. I'm not sure what that one is. I'm not too sure. December 5th, 1931. Now you and I are far away. Your face I cannot see. Look into a mirror, dear, and kiss yourself for me. December 7th, 1931. January, February, and all the other months, although they may be sleeter, but your dear name I tell to all, there could be none no sweeter. December 8th. As the moss grows around the stump, I choose you for my sugar lump. May 4th, 1932. Love is abiding, love is true, for everlasting, I love you. And in this July 12th, 1933, in this letter, she accepted their marriage proposal. They almost lost it with this one. Roses love sunshine, violets love dew. Angels in heaven know I love you. Her name was Rosie Hattie Brown. Letters to Robert. Rosie Hattie Booker to Robert Albert Brown.
Linda is also the sister of our co-founder of Poetry Street, Robert A. Burby Brown, who's sitting right over there, and I don't see his name on the list, but I know he's gonna read, right? You're gonna read today, right? Yeah. Okay, excellent. Okay, so Claire, back to you.
Okay, I'm hoping that Linda will put one of those into the community poem. The theme seems appropriate. Now let's welcome Margaret Wall, and she will be followed by Marietta Margulis. Go ahead, Margaret.
Thank you, Claire. This is called Next Time Made Other Plans. How deep I fell inside the possibilities of you. How I carry myself now inside the busyness of life. There you are, constant reminder that forced me to pause, breathe in your memory, was never ready to let go, gone without a goodbye. Inside every regret is a meant to be, never able to take form. Carry you inside my tomorrows, missing you in my yesterdays, you the proof, nothing is ever promised. Thank you.
Oh, thanks so much, Margaret. Now we have Marietta.
A mirror says the poem for the butterflies. The light adorns the butterfly's magic wings in flight. Flight is his beauty and the anemone's delight. Wings flutter freely and the delicate spring can swing. Swing dances he teaches the white flowers with his wing. Breeze finds him out among the blooming red buckeye trees. Trees push his innocent, pure spirit into the breeze. Dance nurtures a flower to put her into a trance. Trance is his way to gather pollen freely to dance. Dreams fiery rise in crimson when the sweet flower gleams. Gleams of dawn in the sky are his love powerful dreams. Charms are her powers to fling herself into his arms. Arms are his wings when he searches for some other charms.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
is that in on Zoom?
I have one for later, but that's it otherwise.
Okay, so we'll do Wayne Barr and then my favorite person, Bubby, and Beryl, and then we'll go up to Zoom. So what did I say we were gonna do? We have Wayne Barr.
This one is called Desire. The autumn sky is in your eyes, its balanced light lifting into an acceptance of what has gone before. Your sudden smile, the promise of things well thought through that fall to the ground and disappear into nourishment. In the stark clarity of winter, you're often about amiable confusion, but come spring, tablespoons of affection stretching like rain across a meadow of possibilities, cool kiss of cooling shade in summer, you are all the seasons. Because of you, I find myself wanting. Vulnerability is something I've turned away from. Yet, there you are, big-eyed and fragile, like a frightened fawn dreaming of an ice cream cone. Am I safe? Should I wait? Or should I run home?
Okay, everybody's favorite poet, one of the founders of Poetry Street, Bubby Brown.
Wow, those writings that Linda read from my mother. I'm trying to imagine my mom writing these poems to my dad, but after hearing them, Daddy was a bad man. uh, musings, musings. I can see the dawn of summer. I feel moisture in a cloud. I touch the beat of pulsing stars. I cry when heads are bowed. I yearn for children's voices passing on a lilting breeze. Joy comes from pulpy juice, fresh from the morning squeeze. An extra hop comes to my step. Sweetness invades the breathing air when an elderly couple chasses the street who forever have been a pair. I love to wake up in the night and feel lying next to me, the love of my being, who I am, right where she's chosen to be. I can smell the rich music from rosin violin strings, or from puffy cheeks blowing brass, or when a vocal cord sings. Sometimes I feel so in tune with life, in touch with real important stuff, like eyes, ears, fingers, and heart. They are really quite enough. I need these musings from time to time to counteract sickness, death, and war, to anchor down my sanity. That's what gave them to me for. That's what God gave them to me for. So when life's burdens press your soul, when problems vex your livelihood, some things are meant for you to fix after you've done all that you could. Golden rays of sunshine splash across covers on my bed. Another day to muse and face the day that lies ahead.
We have one in the room, one on Zoom, and then one last person in the room. And no, there are other people who haven't read. I'll come around to you. And you must be Beryl Williams.
So greetings from the Caribbean American Poetry Association. Hi, Sarah. This poem is called Roadside Memorial. Just another guy in the neighborhood who would nod to the fellas and smile to the kids. One day he woke up. He decided to go to the corner store. A reckless teen driver speeding home from a night's fete struck him dead while he was standing at the pole. The nosy neighbors said he was from San Salvador. He had a wife and 6 kids he adored. That's why the pole is painted with hearts and flowers. R.I.P. in large letters in memory of his precious soul. Now, as I drive by on the highways, parkways, expressways, and random streets and lanes to get to preferred destinations, I see these roadside memorials, plastic and fresh flowers, crosses and teddy bears, painted electric poles, all placed on the exact spot in remembrance of some dear departed soul, caught in the randomness or destiny of a driving accident. I wonder who is gone and who was left to mourn. I wonder whose broken heart tends to the roadside memorials, so beautifully sculpted with care or despair. And I slow down to offer up a prayer. And join us on October 17th for Black Poetry Day. The Honorable Chip Williford will be our guest of honor. Thank you.
Hey, Claire, you have someone on Zoom, or you're going to read?
That'd be me.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
Good afternoon. This is not an original, but in the vein of Ars Poetica, and to allow me to practice my oratory, and in honor of a friend who just passed. This is from Shakespeare's Julius Caesar, spoken by Mark Antony. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men doeth lives after them. The good is oft interred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault. And grievously hath Caesar answered it. Here, under leave of Brutus and the rest. For Brutus is an honorable man. So are they all honorable men. Come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When that the poor have cried, Caesar hath wept. Ambition should be made of sterner stuff. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that on the Lupercal I thrice presented him a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambitious? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious. And sure, he is an honorable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for him? O judgment, thou art fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till it come back to me. Thank you.
Okay, so next Juliet is going to read, then me, then Jeff, and then Chip will come back and introduce our features for an encore. So Juliet Lindsay.
Good afternoon. I gave her the roses when she was alive. I wined and dined her, took her out for drive. We sang and prayed, we talked and laughed, we cussed, we hugged, we had a blast. I tried to do what was right, give her roses when she is cheery and bright. At least that time she's able to say, didn't like the color of the roses today. Sometimes it would just be a daisy or a flower picked by the way. It wasn't always roses or an expensive bouquet. Sometimes it was just a card given with love from my heart. 'Cause when you are dead, you can't appreciate the wreaths upon your grave. So my policy is to give the flowers and together celebrate. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to read and then I will pass the baton to, you didn't write down your last name though. Jeff, what is your last name? Thomas. Okay, so after I read, I'll just pass it over to you and then Chip will come back. I've never read this out loud. The Passion of Lost People. I hadn't seen the small scar under your eye, nor any part of you. Obscured in a crowded room, you said your sweet name and other things, and your voice, and I was yours, blind. You could pick him out of a lineup, my friends said when I showed your picture and asked how we look, and do you think he likes me? Your God can be called Bob, or it can be a doorknob, they told us, anything but yourself or another person. The musician differed, said he was God because he was a Buddhist and God was within him. Your mistake was I was yours. I longed for death. My sponsor said I told you no new relationships after I left you too soon because you had lied and I was naive still and believed in fidelity. I longed for death, then like an addict called you only 2 months later. You sat in my passenger seat, I was in the driver's. I kissed you softly with pressure, wet but neat, until heat filled me and you, and we reunited, clean. You knew more of me than I had known prior and showed me your secrets and my own. Sensual awakening follows spiritual birth, your friend said, but it was you, all you. This was early recovery. Thank you, my love. Thank you also for the day we yelled wild outside couples counseling in Columbus Circle. We argued with all the passion of lost people. Thank you because we tried and wanted, because you wanted me to open myself when I was too fragile and closed, like in the picture on the cover of the journal you gave me. It reminded you of us, you said. She's saying no, but you can tell she wants him. Thank you because you opened yourself brave, because we went far as we could go together. This was early recovery. Thank you, my love. At the hairdresser, the guy you had flirted with washed my hair. My head was tilted back into the sink when he asked how you were, as people ask of others' lovers. Tears, so sudden and pure, heated my eyes, then flowed clean from their corners down my temples to my ears when I had to say, we broke up. Do you think of me when you see your tattoo? Sometimes I think of you when I see myself. I see what you taught me. Thank you forever, my love, for early recovery, for all the gorgeous, painful passion of lost people in love.
All right, let's give it up for Jeff Thompson. Thomas, Jeff Thomas. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Let's give it up. How you doing? Welcome to Poetry Street.
This will be the first time I read this. You've been hearing a lot of that today. I also forgot the papers and stuff, so
You're good.
nah, not on a phone. A few people here know that. I'm not going to cheer you up. You like that, huh? All right. It's not the one I wanted to read, but I don't know if anybody else has more success talking to people today with differing views. I've just about given up. This is called Gimbal. There's no befitting compass metaphor we've yet supposed to navigate the tesseract. No magnet nestled gimbal worthy of these wicked storms. And this is why I hate the phone. Rendering all talk of ethics in the nebula of present opposition. Oh, how we quarreled then, McLean. Both unsituated and insensible. To the priests, the pundits, nihilists, the diabolic counterfeit intelligence machines. Savoring the Sunday morning funny papers, horoscopes, the cheap Rococo glamour magazines, newsprint scattered through the empty train cars, red and torn. The poring over antique watercolored maps, obscuring matrices to unfamiliar foreign beaches, large, unpleasant ocean creatures, shivering towers rising from the sylvan skirts of sumptuous forest gardens, and their tethered, ivory-tinted unicorns. It's said you shot him. Is this true? The chance to quarrel through alternative solutions, now a relic of the distant past. Oh, how we used to crow, McLean. Canst thou recall? Now inconsequential to the management of these strange geometries in frightful new configurations, bent in 88 dimension forms, anointed in a chilling rite of venerated, consummately soulless genuflection, are now come through the pinhole on a checkered weave. These unsuspected holographic Philistines.
Thank you so much. And we always welcome people to come here for the first time because we want you to come back a second and third and a fourth time. Okay, we had a lot of tributes today, and I'd like to do one more tribute to my parents. They both had Alzheimer's, and this is entitled In Between. What's remembered sporadically are stolen moments delivered spontaneously, which almost last forever. Better to the past, silently watching, surviving another moment of uncertainty, thinking certainly there is a way out. Is freedom ever so burdensome, with or without carrying heavy secrets, quietly contemplating decomposed dreams, possible outcomes dire? With furious longing, I watch you leave your being as a fading smile. Already I feel your absence and presence become one. Thank you. Thank you all for this wonderful day at Poetry Street. And now we're going to bring back our features. Rosalind apologized. She had to leave. So we're going to bring back Steps. And Steps, there you are. Are you sitting on the steps?
Nah, I'm up.
Oh, no, you're sitting somewhere nice and comfy. All right, well,
Yeah.
let's give it up for Steps.
How you guys doing? So here, this poem is called Road Trip. Let's take a road trip through a parched mind. Good morning, socialites. My name is Jonathan, a title steam pressed to abandonment. Wishing for loves like The Simpsons, my consciousness spun with cartoon romance of Buttercup and Shaggy. The synergy lost its grip. Attempting to hold together asymmetry, the embodiment of ourselves surged with dysfunction. Since our conjunctions survived strife, cruising on different wavelengths, our misplaced names ballooned into distant disappointments. My peripherals were lost in fabricated drifts to a loose definition. What's consumed is never truly digested when it isn't blessed from within. There's a simple grin with disconnection, once reality recollected the evidence of a caged illusion. Isn't it crazy? This disproportionate disappointment transcribed the light bulb in the back of my mind. Back of my mind. For me to take a crack at a rusty bolt. Oh, some of the words are blocked out. Sorry, 1 second. Okay. Take a crack at a rusty bolt as you run through the murky woods towards sparkless hope. Until we slide down the smooth tune of a parasite. Good morning. My name is Jonathan. I realize I used to self-sacrifice just to see intellect bleed across lined paper. Rather than embracing the inner eraser, the darkened hue resting between my knuckles dragged a pen, cementing a spotted legacy. Thank you.
And before I bring, go ahead.
No, sorry. Nope. You're good.
Okay,
Oh.
so you know you owe me 45 hugs, right?
I got you. Don't worry.
All right, all
Let's
right.
do a
Thank you
solid
so
one
much.
when I see you.
All right, all right, I'll be ready. All right, so before we bring back MT Pariti, I just want to say, let's give it Jen, our co-host, a wonderful round of applause. Didn't she do a great job? Yeah, right? Next month, Maggie will be back, but thank you so much, Jen. Excellent job. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for MT Pariti.
That's my friend.
All right, all right, all right. Let's go. All right. So this was a request, and it's kind of Ars Poetica in that it's a response to a line in a poem. Walt Whitman famously said, "I'm the poet of my body. I'm the poet of my soul." And as you heard earlier, I went through a bunch of stuff in my mind, so that's what I wrote about. So here goes. I'm the poet of my mind, which means I can't be trusted. Searching out to find, so the prints have all been dusted. Leaving clues and evidence, breadcrumbs on the ground portends a path that might just have an end, despite the ups and downs and bends. You can come along and follow. On a journey, ground is hollow. Every breath feels like it's borrowed. Dread that death collects in sorrow. Fear tomorrow, fear today. Fear is clearly in the way, blocking here with flood of tears, blurry vision, buzzing ears, commandeering parts I needed when so young on trauma feeded, until I broke and conceded to advice I finally heeded. Plans were changed, all rearranged, therapy to curb the strange, thoughts and meds to shrink the range on the spectrum of deranged. Seemed so plain, so obvious to everyone around. But I was blind, stuck in my mind like 6 feet underground. Dead man walking, body chalking, never pitching, always balking, said man talking, rambling, anything that random brings, tattered, torn, and shambling, head like eggs are scrambling. This is your brain on drugs of a kind, to entertain and delve deep in my mind, peel back the layers and look past the rind. I truly do hope that you like what you find. Oh, quick plug, 2 plugs. I already talked about the magazine, but here's a plug for the scene. Performance-wise, we are performing way over in Queens Village on Wednesday, the 1st, October 1st. We have a feature, a few team members from the scene will be featuring. And then I'm emceeing an event on October 11th for George Wallace. George Wallace's next musical poetry showcase, and he asked me to MC. So that's October 11th. Come through for that. It's going to be a blast. So thank you so much again to everyone here. Chip, the hosts, you guys are the best. Have a good night.
All right, hugs. And also we're going to get a photo, a selfie. I'm the king of selfies. So come get everyone. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for coming to Poetry Street. And just want to remind everyone on Friday, October 17th, Kappa Caribbean American Poet Association invites you to virtual Black Poetry celebration, and I am featuring. So please join us, and it's going to be online. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for being here today. Love you all. Get home safely and come back next month. Thank you so much.